We know the drill by now. Jerry Jones, twice per week on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas-Fort Worth. Here he is answering the question, a question that we just regarded as a no-brainer. Could Mike McCarthy, coach of the Cowboys, possibly get a new contract once this season and his current contract expires? Here's Jerry Jones from Tuesday.
Well, I don't think that's crazy at all. That's not crazy. And listen, Mike McCarthy is an outstanding coach. I was listening to the game last night, watching it, and Aikman was talking about it, and he's reiterated that several times publicly. This Super Bowl winning coach. And Mike McCarthy has been there, done that. He's got great ideas. So bottom line is that in no place in my body language or anything else have you seen indications about what we're going to be doing relative to this staff at the end of this year. And we shouldn't. We got a lot of football left.
Okay, kind of a surprise, because remember, it was last year after the season ended, 3 days following an embarrassing home loss in the wild card round to the Green Bay Packers. Super wild card round. It's coming around again, so I got to get used to deliberately saying super wild card round in a derisive manner. A statement was issued by the Cowboys that McCarthy would come back for this year at a time when there was widespread speculation that he would be fired, maybe replaced with Bill Belichick. At the end of the day, Jerry Jones is a little cheap. Jerry Jones didn't want to pay Mike McCarthy to not coach the team. So he's under contract for another year, ride it out. And, hey, maybe this black cloud that's been hovering over Mike McCarthy softens him up and gets him to take less than maybe what he would otherwise expect. Maybe this is all part of a long con negotiating ploy by Jerry Jones to keep Mike McCarthy without paying him much. Because, again, I don't believe Jerry Jones is as obsessed with winning a Super Bowl as he claims to be. I think it's part of the broader grift to get you, the Cowboys fan, to show up for the games, never mind the metal that might be falling from the roof. Open your wallets, pay too much for food, pay too much for beer, pay too much for soda, pay too much for everything that they put a price tag on, and fatten Jerry's coffers. And the I want me some glory hole routine, and the you'd be surprised at how big of a check I would write if it would guarantee me a Super Bowl win, that I think is baloney, poppycock, nonsense. It's all part of the con. Step right up. And step right up. Here he comes, right on cue. My good friend.
I speak Jerry. I know what he's trying to say. He's trying to say, I reserve the right to change my mind. It's a long way of getting there, but he's looking at the schedule just like everybody else. Okay, we should beat the Giants. Okay, we should beat the Bengals. Okay, that gets us to 6. We got the Panthers. That gets us to 7. We're 7-7. Who knows what's going to happen with Washington? We already beat them. I like our chances. And then the Buccaneers, they're under 500. They won last week, but they're under 500. Then we come back in the division. You never know. But Mike, what he's saying is, if they lose any one of these games, especially Panthers this next stretch, Giants, Bengals, Panthers, if they lose any one of those games, he's going to come back and tell the guys at 105.7 The Fan a different story. But right now, he's keeping hope alive that they can get back to 500 and save their season.
There's another aspect of it, too. And this relates to his testimony from the Sunday ticket trial in June. He wants to be interesting. He wants to be compelling. There's only so much that is interesting about his football team on the field this year. It's also interesting when you can make everything into a reality show. Will Mike McCarthy be back? Won't he be back? Who will the coach of the Cowboys be? When will we find out? Stay tuned to DallasCowboys.com. Refresh. Watch our Twitter feed. Listen to the radio shows. It's a drama every week. We're going to leave you with a cliffhanger. What's the status of Mike McCarthy? I think that's part of it too. And that's beyond the game day effort to separate folks from their money. This is just keeping the Cowboys front of mind, giving us something to talk about, giving the customers something to think about, giving us reasons to tune in and watch. Hey, maybe if the Cowboys can manhandle the Giants on Thursday, maybe that saves Mike McCarthy. So tune in and watch a game that you otherwise wouldn't have any interest in watching because it's a couple of teams that look like they're going nowhere. That's just another wrinkle and another reason. That's one of the things he's really good at, the business side of it, generating interest in the team, getting people to pay attention when they otherwise wouldn't be inclined to.
Yeah, he was good at that from day one, wasn't he? I mean, the way he came in and made some changes with the Cowboys, getting Landry out, and then some of the marketing deals that he put together at Old Texas Stadium and the NFL. Look, I'll give him credit for that. The NFL really hadn't seen anything like it. The owners weren't thinking that way, and he came in and asked the best question that you can ask in business and in interviewing: why? Well, why do we do it this way? Why not this way? And so he did change that. But you tell me, is it crazy to think, just using his language and just trying to get into the mind of Jerry Jones, is it crazy to think that Mike McCarthy would come back if they finish not making the playoffs? I mean, I'm just going like 9-8. Let's say they finish 9-8, 8-9, and he looks at the injuries to Dak Prescott. He looks at the contract situation with CD, which Mike McCarthy didn't really have anything to do with. I'm sure he said, yeah, sign CD Lamb, sign everybody. I want all the good players I can get. After surviving a season like that, you finish strong, you play spoiler to somebody. Is it crazy to think that McCarthy could return for another 2 years?
Well, and then Michael, on top of it, performing at an acceptable level when you're a lame duck because the boss refuses to give you an extension, so you're coaching out the final year of his contract. I don't think it's crazy when you consider the broader Jerry Jones motivation. The broader motivation is make money. And I was saying earlier, if all the uncertainty softens Mike McCarthy up to take whatever Jerry wants to pay him for next year and beyond, however many years the contract is, however much of it is guaranteed or not guaranteed, maybe McCarthy is more inclined to say yes instead of driving a harder bargain or doing the one thing that few head coaches ever do. There's no salary cap for coaches. There's no franchise tag. You can finish your contract, refuse an extension, refuse a new deal, and go anywhere you want. But it never happens. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.